Gentlemen, welcome back to Becoming a Better Man. I'm Eli, and today I have a very interesting topic to discuss here regarding a Reddit posting I came across from the Purple Pill Debate subreddit out on Reddit. It was a question posed for women. What are your thoughts regarding, red pilled men? What are your honest thoughts regarding red pilled men? And it was quite interesting to see what the ladies responded with. But before we get to that, I want to share my thoughts here regarding red pilled men. And just give me a second here. I first heard about MGTOW and the red pill almost 5 years ago out here on YouTube. There was a huge movement back then to make men aware of modern day female nature. It was right around the time when YouTube had just started live streaming, maybe a year or so before YouTube, or a year or so after YouTube started live streaming, so it was fairly new. And it gave these red pilled men an opportunity to run panel shows. Back then we had what was called Hangouts on Air. Today we use StreamYard, same thing. You can bring people on the panel and have discussions. And I just started my coaching business back then. I do have a coaching business as well. And if you want to check out my coaching channel, it is Coach Elias Mellis. I'm going to link that at some point in the description. I'm not going to link it right now at this point because I have my reasons for that. But if you want to look me up, COACH space ELI space ELIAS space MELAS, you can find me on there. And I was running a channel back then that I shut down. Then I came back 3 years later. And sorry, not 3 years later. I came back 3 months later. And for the last 3 years, I've been running a new channel. And some things happened. I got involved with this community. I was made aware of the MGTOW community. And I was told that, hey, it'd be a great way to expand my message. Well, when I started, looking into MGTOW and started to participate with some of these live stream panels, I was getting attacked by the most angry and bitter men I have ever come across. There was a bunch of men back then that had just gone through a terrible divorce. They lost half their marital assets, or they had gone through a bad breakup. And these men were just not easy to talk with. I had a girlfriend back in those days. I have a girlfriend now as well, a different girlfriend. But I had a girlfriend, a really good girlfriend back then that was doing videos with me on my channel. And we were sharing with people how happy our relationship was. And we were sharing with people, what keeps the fire burning in our relationship and, tips and tricks, kind of like I do here on this channel. But these guys would see that and they were angry and bitter and jealous. And they kept on telling me, dude, you better not marry her. She's going to take half your assets. Dude, don't get too serious. She's going to take advantage of you. Like, these were the worst men I had ever come across. And I'm mentioning this right now because I'm sure when we get to the comments section in the Reddit posting, a lot of the women are going to have similar things to say. And unfortunately, guys, I'm going to have to agree with the women on this one here. There's nothing wrong with being red pill aware, but there's a difference, in my opinion, between being a red pill MGTOW or a MGTOW monk, like they call, some guys. Some guys call themselves MGTOW monk, meaning that they will never ever date or marry or sleep with a woman again, right? And a lot of these guys will project onto you and say, don't do it, don't get involved, they're going to trap you, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, right? So there's a difference between being red pill aware and being a red pill, red pillar, or being a red pill MGTOW monk, right? And there's nothing wrong with being red pill aware and proceeding, to date or possibly even marry women with the caution and awareness of the red pill. That's what the purple pill was created for, right? The purple pill, in case you folks don't know what the pills are, is right in the middle. It's not a blue pillar. A blue pillar is a white knight, a simp, a man that puts a woman on a pedestal, a man that sucks up to a woman, bows down to her. That never gets anywhere. The woman takes advantage of that guy and doesn't respect the guy like that. The red pillar is the complete opposite, the arrogant, pompous ass, the angry and bitter guy that is mad because his relationship didn't work out or his marriage didn't work out. Probably made a lot of mistakes himself, but won't accept responsibility for his mistakes and why their relationship and the marriage ended. So those are my thoughts regarding, what a, red pill man is. I'm sharing my experiences of what I've dealt with out here on YouTube. And a lot of those channels that were run 4 to 5 years ago were shut down. Why? Because these guys would say the most hateful and disrespectful and discriminatory things towards women, right? Look, I'm a good guy, but I've had, my moments with certain women, and I've said some things about women, but never in the ways that these guys have said it, right? There's nothing wrong with saying, that's just the way women are, or women can be this and that, right? Women do the same thing, right? But these guys would call women the nastiest, most derogatory words, and they were complaining that they were getting shut down for hate speech and, vulgar language, inappropriate content. They deserved that. So anyway, give me just a second here. So let's just do this. Let's get over to the browser screen and let's read this posting here. Okay, let's switch on over. Come on, where are we? Oh, there we are. I don't want you looking at my my red wooden background there. Sometimes it just won't transition perfectly. That's okay. All right, this is from the Purple Pill Debate subreddit, and the original poster states, "What do you think a red-pilled man actually is?" The question posed for women. This is a follow-up to the previous post asking women, would you consider a relationship with someone who considers themselves red pill or outright identifies as red pill? That's a great question. Again, in my opinion, nothing wrong with being red pill aware. But if you consider yourself to be a purple pill guy, you're going to take your red pill knowledge and you're going to use that to stand up for yourself and not, end up being a doormat for a woman. But you're also going to be a cool, calm, and collected guy. You're going to be respectful towards the woman, as long as she's respectful to you. And if she's not respectful to you and it's not working out, you're going to do the mature thing and just say, hey, this is not working out for me. I'm going to end the relationship so you can find someone that's, better for you, and I can find someone that's better for me, right? In reading women's comments, I gathered that many of those who were answering have some very strange notions of what an actual man out there in the real world right now who is red-pilled actually is. I just kind of stated what, a lot of guys projected it is out here on YouTube. But what a red-pilled man actually is a man that understands modern-day female nature, understands that women have been liberated, women are independent, and they become a lot stronger, and women now have equal rights and equal opportunities, as they always should have, right? But when it comes to biologically, men and women are different biologically. That's where the difference is at. So a red-pilled man understands, this aspect, right? A red-pilled man also understands masculine versus feminine energy. There are a lot of women out there that work in jobs nowadays. They work in fields that require them to exude more masculine energy than feminine energy at work, which is completely out of their natural essence. And then sometimes those women, when they start to date guys, they exude that masculine energy when they're getting to know the guy. When I've come across women in the past that are approaching me in the dating world with more masculine energy, it's a big turnoff to me, and I just kind of stop talking with them, right? But, most women that understand that men are not attracted to women that try to flex their muscles or, exude more masculine energy are going to be able to, come home from work, turn off that masculine energy, and then be more feminine. I'm not saying be overly submissive, but be more feminine so that way the sexual polarity can be there with your man. Look, if a woman behaves with more masculine energy and a man behaves with masculine energy, it's like having two men in the relationship. One just has, a vagina, and so that doesn't work. So that's my thought about it. They all seem to be talking about a caricature and not real people. There was no nuance, no actual personhood when women were describing red-pilled men. So it begs the question, what do you gals think a red-pilled man actually is in real life? What is it exactly that distinguishes him from other men? Okay. Well, a real true man that is red-pilled, like I said, is going to, be aware of modern-day female nature and continue being a good, decent, down-to-earth, strong man. He's going to be respectful, but at the same time is not going to let any woman derail his masculinity and get him off his path of trying to create whatever he's trying to create for himself. If a man never reveals he is red-pilled, would you ever know? If so, how? Well, a man is red-pilled when he passes a woman's shit test. And women nowadays, a lot of women are going to test you from the very beginning to see how strong of a man you are. Are you secure within yourself? Because if you're insecure, that's a big turnoff to a woman. If she, doesn't talk to you for a day, are you going to try to ring her phone off the hook or text her all day? Or are you just going to, say, hey, she's probably busy. I'm going to do my thing. And when she gets back to me, she gets back to me. They're going to test you. Women are going to know if you're a red-pilled man or not. They may not know what the term red pill is, but it's the same thing. Saying a man is red-pilled means that he's a real man and he really understands, what being a man is, especially in this modern world that we live in of women being liberated and independent. What if a man has red pill knowledge that he arrived at independently from the monkeyer? The moniker. Sorry. A man who doesn't even know the red pill is a sad thing, but has still arrived at the same knowledge and conclusion as this body of knowledge. What do you do then and why? That's very, very interesting. Some men that have never heard of the red pill are just real men. Okay? They're automatically living as a real man because they were raised right. Okay? Now, the men that have come across, the MGTOW community and red pill, blue pill, and purple pill philosophies, they're going to have a clearer understanding of the difference of the men that are red, blue, and purple pill. But yeah, let's go down and see what was said here. Let's see. A man who objectifies and manipulates women to get what they want sexually from them. That's not what a red pill man is. A red pill man is, is just a man that understands female nature. If a man's able to manipulate a woman to get what they want sexually, that's not necessarily, it's not a good thing actually, to be honest with you. But it takes a real man to be able to manipulate a woman and convince a woman. He has to understand what attracts, a woman to a man. So that's not a really good example there. Most of them seem to be unaware how much their language reflects a person who deeply hates women. Usually it's a short-term coping mechanism after a bad relationship, which is understandable. Lifelong adherents are broken in some way. Well, yeah, whenever guys or gals go through a breakup, a lot of people say, hey, take time off and, get over your ex, remove the emotional attachment, and then put yourself back out there. But the truth of the matter is, and I've actually experienced this myself before, you're not going to really truly get over your ex until you put yourself out there and meet some new people, right? So, an example, in the past, I went through a bad breakup and I took about 3 months off. I still wasn't completely over my ex, and I met another amazing woman. And, when I was with her, I enjoyed her company, but, I was still, kind of hoping, my ex would reach out and, we could work things out. But that never happened. I continued seeing that woman, and I ended up really falling for her and caring for her more than I even did for this ex. Now, when you're in that situation, you cannot make it apparent to the new person you're seeing that you're not over your ex. Okay, but you got to just keep moving forward, and the more and more that you put yourself out there, you're going to get your mind off of your ex, and then things are just going to get better. It doesn't sound like the right way to do it, but in all honesty, to be honest with you folks, it's really the only way that works. In order to get past something like a breakup, you got to put yourself back out there, get back on that horse. This person is responding to, they all seem to be talking about a caricature and not real people. Do red pillars talk about a caricature and not real people when it comes to women? There was no nuance, no actual personhood when women were describing red-pilled men. So it begs the question, what do you gals think a red-pilled man actually is in real life? So this person, this lady is writing in response to the poster's question, red-pilled men in real life knows that openly calling themselves red pill is a recipe to make women run away from them. That is true. If women know about the red pill and you say, hey, I'm a red pill man, you want to get to know me, you don't do that. You don't even mention this stuff to women. They don't even know about it. This is just to help men better understand modern day female nature and get men to be stronger and help men by teaching them things that will prevent them from being taken advantage of, right? And to better, teach men to better qualify, women when they're going to date them, right? Know what to look for. Know when it's meant to be and when it's not meant to be. The bottom line is, like I've said before, I'll say it again. Attraction is a must and not a choice. And women and men both know within 3 seconds of meeting each other if that large rush or spark of sexual attraction is there or it isn't. If it's not there within 3 seconds and completely there on both sides, it will never, ever be there, right? You will know. Trust me, you will know. Let's see. Men who insist on labeling themselves anything in real life instead of allowing others to come to their own conclusion is unattractive and comes across insecure. That's true. A lot of these guys I was talking about that I met through the MGTOW community almost 5 years ago out here on YouTube and engaged with them on some live stream panels. A lot of these guys were very insecure, very immature. Many of them, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. They were mentally and emotionally unstable, angry and bitter, right? And these were guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s behaving this way. You would figure that grown-ass men would not behave this way. And then I would come in and try to be calm and cool and say, come on, guys, this is not the way men behave. Come on, you're better than that. Rise above it, right? And the more I was trying to just uplift these guys with some positivity, the more angry and bitter they would get, right? Those are the men that women will never give the time of day because of their shitty attitudes, right? And they're very insecure, right? Just because it didn't work out with one woman or they went through a bad divorce doesn't mean they have to, give up the rest of their life and not have any women, in their life. Come on. That's how a lot of these guys were and still are to this day. What is it exactly that distinguishes him from other men? And this woman responds to the original poster's question by saying, not really much. They are men who come to the same conclusion about women regardless of the internet. Right. These guys are angry and bitter towards all women because they had a couple of bad relationships or 1 or 2 bad marriages. And the truth of the matter is, I try to help these guys by, asking them, hey, you know, I mean, were you always there for your lady? Did you continue to date and court your lady while you were married? Because what happens to a lot of these guys is, they date and court their lady and they do everything right until they get married. And once they get married, then they get settled in, they become complacent and lazy, and they stop taking their wife out on dates. They stop doing the things they used to do before they got married that attracted the woman to them and kept the woman attracted to them and made the woman want to marry them. They stopped doing those things. So they wonder why they went through divorce or the wife divorced them and took half the assets. I mean, come on. A lot of these guys never ever and will never ever own up to their own mistakes. And I can honestly say that a lot of these guys, you know, they were a victim of their own demise, right? It was their fault more than the woman's fault. I hate to admit that, but it's true. The truth's the truth. All right. Let's see. I met plenty of men who lack, the mental capacity to try to see things from a woman's point of view and unable to recognize that there are good and the bad to both sexes. That's true. There are good and bad men and women, right? The truth of the matter is there's only one person meant to be for you, right? Okay? And until you find that one person, keep putting yourself out there and just hang out, have fun, hook up. And when I say hook up, don't sleep with a bunch of people. I mean, do what you got to do, but go on some dates. Start going on some dates and see if it continues to move forward. If you start seeing the same woman or guy, 2 or 3 times, and it turns into a relationship, just continue hanging out, having fun, hooking up. 2 to 3 months into the relationship, if it's going well, the lady will bring up the relationship and say, "Hey, where do we stand? I'd like to, have a future. You're amazing, right?" And at that point, the guy can say, "Yeah, let's keep it going." Yeah, But as a guy, don't ever try to ask for the commitment. That's the lady's job there. Okay. But again, yes, there are good and bad men and women. And the truth of the matter is that, you just got to keep putting yourself out there until you find the right one. And if you're not with the right one, look for the signs. Look for the signs so you can leave that relationship, as quickly as possible before you get into these situations like a lot of these MGTOW guys did. These MGTOW guys married the wrong women. They probably married these women because they were hot and, they just had a lot of fun with them. But they really didn't take the time to get to know who they are. And besides that, they just didn't maintain their relationship once they got married. And even if you're married, you still have to maintain the relationship in the same ways you did before you got married. That's the problem right there. They are men who come to the same conclusion about women regardless of the internet. So this woman's responding to that part of the original poster's question. Men have had red pill opinions on women way before red pill, as seen on the internet, was ever a thing. And many come to such conclusions on their own every day. Yeah, a lot of these men are just very, very lost. They come from a terrible upbringing. They probably didn't have the best father figure or mother figure. And they've been left on their own to fend for themselves to figure this whole thing out. So then they ended up finding a woman. They didn't know how to properly vet or qualify the woman. They just got with her because she gave him the time of day. Maybe he was making a lot of money and she was looking for a provider. They get married. Next thing you know, it goes sideways because the guy is not, dating and courting, the woman he married in the same ways he was before they got married. And more importantly, he didn't truly get to know her. He kind of settled for her, right? you can't just settle for someone. You have to truly get to know people, folks, and see if you're truly compatible. And once you get married, if you do decide to get married, okay, I'm not for or against marriage. Nowadays, a lot of people are saying, marriage really isn't that big of a deal. I've never been married myself, and I'm almost 48 years old. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also not highly advocating for it. I think each man and woman can decide if they get to that point in their relationship, if marriage is something that's feasible or not. All right. Let me see here. We are at 25 minutes. I'm going to go through a couple more here, then I'm going to wrap this up. Let's see. Unrelated to the question, but aren't red pill men talking about women the same, no nuance manner, I mean? Well, yes, men are talking smack about women. Women are talking smack about men. I think a lot of these MGTOW red pill men or the MGTOW monks, right? The ones that are anti-marriage, they're anti-dating, they're anti-women, period. Okay? I think that, what was I going to say? I totally slipped my mind what I was going to say. But, again, they're just angry and bitter people. They're just unhappy people. And, now with the internet, what they're doing is they are projecting their insecurities onto other good men like myself that still want to date, that still want to possibly marry a woman and have a family and stuff like that, right? And another thing, I've seen a lot of these guys. Some of them actually, will hide in plain sight because they don't want to get trolled on the internet. But others that show their face and show what they look like, I mean, these are very unattractive, overweight men that don't take care of themselves. And what do? They project their insecurities onto a guy like me. I'm not saying I'm all that, but I'm almost 48. I'll be 48 next month in December. And I will tell you, I take care of myself. I think I look pretty good for my age. A lot of these guys, even in their mid to late 30s, they look like they're 60, right? And so they come across someone like me that's able to attract women and have a great relationship, and all they're doing is projecting. That's the bottom line right there. Let's read one more here before we wrap this up. What is it exactly that distinguishes him from other men? The fact that red pill men tend to have a general distrust of women. General, they completely distrust women. The truth of the matter is they completely distrust themselves. They have a lack of emotional self-control. A lot of them are mentally and emotionally unstable. A lot of them have no self-respect, no self-love. I mean, seriously, how can any person, whether you're a man or a woman, love someone else when you don't love yourself first, right? That's the problem with these men. These men that are projecting their insecurities are just not happy within themselves. They really, honestly, would prefer to have a good woman in their life, but because of the fact that their marriage didn't work out, and maybe they gained a lot of weight during their marriage, stopped taking care of themselves, stopped paying attention to their lady. Now they're single again, and no woman wants to, give them the time of day because they're unattractive, they're hideous looking. Plus, they also have a crappy personality. How attractive is that to any woman? Seriously, right? If a man never reveals he is red-pilled, would you ever know? If so, how? This woman's responding to another question that was asked by the original poster. I may not know he was red-pilled specifically, but I would still pick up on the fact that he holds me at arm's length and minimizes affection. Yeah, you can kind of tell a lot of these guys are very standoffish. They're not easygoing. They're not laid back. They're not flirtatious, right? You can kind of tell the difference between an easygoing, laid-back, down-to-earth guy like myself and a very angry, bitter, and super guarded, insecure, immature guy like these, like these red pillars, right? Like these red pillars or these MGTOW monks, like we call some of them. You can tell. Yeah, no, women can pick up on that. The women are very, very intuitive. Let's see. And let me read one more here before we wrap this up. They all seem to be talking about a caricature and not real people. There was no nuance, no actual personhood when women were describing red-pilled men. So it begs the question, what do you gals think a red-pilled man actually is in real life? And this woman responds to the original poster's question by saying, I can only speak for my comments specifically, but all my examples come from common talking points you'll hear from red pill content creators and authors. A lot of these content creators and authors out here on YouTube, other internet platforms, Reddit, etc., right? A lot of these content creators will write their books or create their videos or make their postings in ways that get attention, but not necessarily, teaching guys, the right way to be as a man. They're not really teaching guys, how to become a better man like I do here on this channel. What they're basically saying to guys is that the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and you need to run for the hills and completely forget about women. Don't talk to women. Don't date women. Don't marry women. Don't have sex with women, right? Don't ever pay for a woman. Don't do any of that, right? And that is completely horrible hogwash information there. So that is that. All right, folks. Time to wrap this one up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.